Hi, this is Ronald Johnson, your life coach, mentor coach. And what I do is I help people that are tired of who they are and where they are in life.
And this is Gloria, your life coach. I help those who are feeling stuck, struggling with difficulties such as self doubt, inner judgment, lack of confidence, life transitions, and taking steps forward.
And welcome to Life's a Shuffle podcast. Now, you may wonder why it's called Life's a Shuffle. And the reason why we came up with this title is that life is really shuffling. It doesn't matter where you come from, your background, what age you are, you're shuffling multiple things in life. And the best thing to know in life is everybody faces your struggles and everybody faces what you're going through. But there's hope in learning something about that. So when our guests share their journey, the hope is you learn something in that journey so yourself can navigate the struggles you face, the low self-esteem, the self-confidence, and that's why we call podcast Life's a Shuffle.
And throughout this podcast, we share our personal overcoming stories, as well as our guests who shares their personal journey in overcoming their personal struggles. Life's a Shuffle podcast is here to connect like-minded individuals.
And thank you for listening to Life's a Shuffle podcast.
Hi, this is Gloria, mindfulness coach. Welcome to another episode of Life's a Shuffle.
Hi, this is Ronald Johnson, your mindfulness coach, and welcome to another episode, Life's a Shuffle. This has been a different week. I wrote this is the week, I would say. I went raw diggity. I just went raw with everything. From the post I made a couple of days ago, because I went to the emergency room this past weekend, to the video I shot the other day, it was all just completely out there. So I want to talk about my emergency room experience on the podcast. Those that didn't read my story, but so I went to the emergency room the other day because I was having some issues with testicles. I could say manhood, but let's put it out there, okay? The point of me really putting it out there is that everybody that has pain somewhere in their body should, if they have insurance, go to the hospital or go to the doctor, get checked out. You don't know what the hell is happening. So at the emergency room this weekend, unlike what the media says, it was not busy at all. I got a bed right away. So I went there, did the check-in process. They took my vitals. Boom, I was in the room waiting for the doctor. So the issue being is I was having testicular pain and, pretty much my balls. That's the best way to say it. And it was excruciating when I peed. It was excruciating when I went to the bathroom. It was very uncomfortable. Now, I'm going to get to the point, it's not STD. So you will say, well, you may have gonorrhea, chlamydia. No. And it's negative, the test. So I put that out there right away because that's what people are thinking. Burns VP, you have an STD. I do not have STD. Never had an STD. I'm good to go. So I got a bed. I tell the doctor, a PA, physician assistant, this is my problem. I tell him that, that I'm having pain. First thing I do is, are you having any discharge? No, what is that? Okay. Are you having any lesions on your balls or your penis? I'm like, no. So then he says, okay, I still physical exam. They do a physical exam. Oh, I don't see nothing. What's going on here? And they obviously lay on my stomach. They want to test my abdominal region to see if I have any pain there because it could be, gallbladder issue or whatever. Then it says they want to do a urine test. So, go pee in the cup. All right. Those out there know what the drug test is. It's the same thing. Pee in the cup. And I said, wait. So the first about an hour goes by, about an hour and a half goes by. Nurse comes in and says, well, UTI results back negative. That's good news. She says, well, the doctor also ordered ultrasound. So great. And obviously, before I even went to the hospital, I called my my primary care physician, not there this weekends. I called 24-hour nurse hotline, told her my symptoms. She's like, go to the emergency room right away. All right. So immediately from there, I Googled everything. And Google tells you it can be UTI. It can tell you have a tumor. You have a twisted testicle. I don't know the actual scientific name of it, but twisted means they're wrapped around each other. One's cut off blood flow, so they could be dying. So I go to the hospital. So the reason I do the ultrasound is to check for those because I'm nervous about having a tumor or a twisted testicle. Guess what, everybody? Negative. No twisted testicle, no UTI. Nurse comes in and says, okay, same thing, no tumor, no twist testicle. You know what? It may be an STD. I'm like, what STD? Okay, well, let's find out. I mean, I don't know what hell's going on now at this point. The nurse finds out that takes 3 days. Okay, so I checked at about 1:30 p.m. I get down about 5:45. Doc comes in and says, "Well, we found no problem." So I said, "Doc, what could it be?" He says, "I don't know." I said, "Could it be rough sex?" He says, "Yes." I said, "Could it be stress?" He says, "Yes." I said, "Could I have been working out too hard?" He says, "Yes." They didn't check for hernia. I didn't have those. All right, so we don't know. It's give me a prescription for ibuprofen, which you can take over the counter, which is Advil or Motrin in a generic ibuprofen. I did that, pain went away. So since I'm new to Bellingham, I need to get a PCP anyways, primary care physician. So I finally found one. I made an appointment for this Thursday, which is today. So here we go again. They have my test. I go in and I'm talking to the lovely lady out of a female doctor, or I don't care if it's male or female. I just need help, right? So I don't prefer either one. Tell them my symptoms that I'm having pain urination, pain when I ejaculate, pain when I touch my testicles, just pain, right, in that region. So she says, well, your results here say, yeah, no UTI. I got results back. Again, no STD, right? So I know why all these doctors and nurses are hopping on, oh, you must have STD. Not everybody has pain. Pain does not mean gonorrhea, chlamydia, okay? Let's face that. Not everybody that has that problem may have an STD. But I had a very lovely, nice nurse, and I was diagnosed with prostatitis. Prostatitis. I may need to
Prostati prost uh,
prostatitis.
pro
Prostatitis. Prostatitis.
prostatitis. I'm getting
Yes,
tongue twisted.
prostatitis.
Mhm,
So you can Google
prostatitis.
it. Prostas- Prostatitis. I think the nurse says
Prostatitis.
prostatitis. You said prostatitis. Prostatitis is what she said. So I'm going with prostatitis is
Okay.
easiest, but I can tongue twist it.
Yeah, it is. It's a
I
tongue
got
twister.
diagnosed with that, and pretty much what it is that she again did a physical exam of my genitals, even inside the penis urethra tube. Nothing, no discharge, no fever, no nothing. It's basically what it is that I had a UTI, and somehow, during that process, my prostate, 'cause I had a prostate exam, and a prostate exam is when they stick two fingers up your anus. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, because if I had cancer, you want to know right away. So don't be afraid of that. Men out there, we do need to be checked. I don't like,
Mhm,
oh, well, I'll go away. Be checked. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't be ashamed of getting help. So I did the prostate exam, and obviously with that, you feel some discomfort and pain, but they're very, doctors and nurses, they're okay with the kind of stuff. And that's what I got diagnosed with. So I'm on antibiotics, and it should hopefully go away in a couple of weeks. And I did another urine test, because what happens, doctors only test what they think it might be, right? Especially if you go to the hospital, they don't test what it might be. They don't have time to be testing for 100 different things. But when you go to your primary care physician, that's why the doctors always say when you go to the hospital, contact your primary care physician to establish care and establish treatment, because they don't have time to be testing for every single thing. They test a UTI right away in the hospital because they want to figure out if that was the problem and treat it right away, because it can lead to worse and worse infections. So I'm on these antibiotics right now. I'm gonna take it for the next 3 weeks, and hopefully it should get better. So
mhm.
that is my biggest event in my life at this moment right now. That's what's really happening. And the point of me telling this story is I want to be raw. I want to be out there. I want to know that there's no shame in having pain. We don't think it should be.
Mhm,
Women get UTI, and I never heard of a man getting UTI infection up until I researched and found out. So I was totally oblivious that men get UTI. So, and it's nothing, it's okay. But men out there, or anybody, if you're feeling discomfort, doesn't seem right, book that appointment, write down what you're feeling. Because pain can fluctuate. Oh, I don't feel pain in the morning. I feel pain at night. I feel pain when I wake up. I feel pain when I pee out. Whatever is happening, write it down when it's happening. Get on the horn, which means get on your phone, call your doctor and says, look, these are the pains I'm recording. This is what's happening because the doctor doesn't know what to do. All they can do is go based upon what you're saying and diagnose based upon what you're saying. So having a quick log or whatever it may be of this pain will be the best way to remember every single thing. Because when you're sitting in front of the nurse or doctor, you're trying to think back. How does it feel? What's the rate 0 to 1 when this happens? If you had a notebook like I should have done, then you can say exactly what the pain rate is, exactly what happens, what time it happens. Then it can give you a more precise diagnosis. But then again, like I said, this is diagnosis. So if it doesn't go in 3 weeks or it gets worse, it might be something else going.
Hmm.
So get tested, whatever it is, and take care of yourself. You only got one body and one life. And don't be ashamed, guys. Get out there and get it done.
That's good that you're putting this out there also and giving all the other men advices because I think it's pretty much well known that men are usually not very good at going to doctors or they wait till the last minute. But I can't speak for every man or men in general, right? Just from what I've heard and from just some guys that I know. They usually wait till later to go to the doctor and be seen because
Uh,
some are usually trying to toughen it out, right? Like it's just a small pain, it'll go away, or maybe I just pulled a muscle, it'll go away. So the good
my
thing
my
is,
dad was
yeah, it's
one of those kind of guys. He was like, "Oh, Dad, you go to the doctor." He goes, "I know. I'll take some. I'll just take some Tylenol. It go away. It's
yeah,
gonna get worse."
see? It will, and next thing you know, it's worse than worse than you thought, and maybe it was something that you could have caught, in the beginning, right? Rather than waiting till later, and then yeah, it's that's the thing about this with, some of the guys out there, so good for you. Glad that, I'm sure it was a scare for you also, and it was probably nerve-wracking. The hardest thing about that is like, when you're waiting for the results too, you're sitting in the hospital waiting for the results. It's like it's like that waiting game. That's always the most stressful part of it. Because all these things are going in your head, you know. But yeah, so good thing. I'm glad that everything has gotten better, and it's just it could have been worse, right? And
When you wait back for the results, I mean, you're racking your head. What could it be? What cannot be? I hope it's not this. And what I did is I sat in that hospital bed, downloaded a game on my phone. I don't play games. Download a game on my phone and start playing this knife throwing game. That's all I did. Just so that way I'm not worried about what it could be, getting
Mhm.
worried about what it should be, or hope it's not. Just let it flow, right? I mean, I'm quite sure the pain I was having, I'm quite sure I probably was having small pains like this, which if I think back, that's why I said logbook. I probably was having small pains like this, like the increased urination, especially at nighttime. Then all of a sudden it started getting worse and it starts getting worse. And it's like to go to see a doctor. It probably was already giving me signs of that. I just was ignoring it.
Mhm.
Up until that, well, this is weird. I got to go to see a doctor, and I'm gonna be a typical old man, especially black men don't go to the doctor. I don't understand why the hell black men do not go to the doctor and get checked out. Don't you have insurance? If you don't, get the Obamacare or whatever it is out there and get yourself checked out. I mean, the insurance to me is another thing I can't hate. I hate. So you get prescribed medication, and sometimes your insurance doesn't cover it, or it's extremely expensive. It's like I'm required by law to have insurance. So why isn't my insurance covering what I need? These are what I need to feel better, be it mentally or physically. It doesn't cover this. Let's cover that. So I had to download this thing called Good RX because
Mhm.
there's two prescriptions that weren't covered by my insurance. I have to pay out of pocket. So I downloaded the Good RX to get the discount to get the prescription I actually need.
Well,
Pay
you've
out of
learned a
pocket.
lot. You learned a lot throughout the week.
I mean, because you know, my dad, if I recant from my mom's stories, was having issues my age, but he never go to the damn doctor. He just wouldn't go get his blood pressure checked, wouldn't get on a proper diet, wouldn't get the things just routine, just blood pressure checked,
Mhm.
have blood drawn, see what's going on your cholesterol, what's going on your kidneys, your livers, things you cannot see, right? You'll
Mhm.
wait till you have an issue and you go to the doctor. It's like tooth pain, right? I
Yep.
have tooth pain. She routinely getting your teeth checked annually so you don't have this kind of issues that show up. So black men get your shit checked, please. You
Yeah,
don't want like
I think it's, other eh I don't wanna say all guys again, but, it's not just black men. I think it's there's others out there too that are like that. They just wait till the last minute till they feel something really, really bad or that something that they couldn't handle anymore. But I think, you're right. Once you start to feel something and you think it's unusual or you start feeling weird, just go get a check already because you'll never really know. I mean, I know there's women out there that does the same thing. I've learned my lesson on that. Just don't wait till the last minute. Just go to the doctor and get a check. I mean, it's not gonna hurt, right? What's the worst thing that can happen?
you get found out immediately. That's the worst thing that happen. Oh, because what if I had a twisted testicle? One was dying and I didn't know it.
Mhm.
And then I waited and I can have it could have died in my body. Now my body's full of toxins and all this kind of messed up's happening. Good thing I went
Mhm.
and got checked out. I don't have it, so I'm good to go. Um, I want to mention this. I did get a lot of backlash about me posting about my private parts, I guess they would say, on social media from different people. That will be a video. I will be interviewing somebody about that. So those out there listening, go to my YouTube channel, Ron Johnson Life Coach. You will see the video. It's not there yet, but will come because while I'm thinking I'm putting my stuff out there to help. Some people that are close to me may say, "Oh, I'm offended. I can't believe you did this. This should be private." Mm, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be private.
Wow.
I only got one life to live. So
Yeah.
you will see the video.
Wow.
Why is
A
wow?
video of you being interviewed?
No, I'm me and this other person being interviewed. I'm not gonna allow say who it is. I'm not gonna say what's gonna be said. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say go to the channel and watch it because it will be there. Because I'm gonna give this person a chance to tell their side of the story why they were so upset. And uh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. I'm raw diggity at this point.
Well, you know what? I think that's another thing too is, with being, a public figure too, these are the things that you kinda you're not surprised, or I wouldn't be surprised, right? That if you lay it all out there and you kinda open yourself up to the public, there will be somebody out there and there will be people out there that will not like what you put out. And there are some that will be appreciative of, of you sharing your life or sharing what you do, sharing your experiences. And yes, there will also be people that might be offended by it, but it's expected, I think. I believe it is. You can't make everybody happy.
I want to answer that question, but I'm gonna go around it and go around it. The person I expected not to react a certain way did, and I'm gonna leave it at that. That's it. I can't. I'm not gonna say nothing. You got to watch the video. I will be shooting a video. It will be on YouTube. It will be on my social media, Ron Johnson Life Coach. It will be on my business page on Facebook, RJ Mental Life Coaching. I just don't want to say anything else. Just watch the video when it's posted.
Well, I'm glad you're better and you're feeling better, and antibiotics should help.
It better help. If not, I go back again.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, so the good thing is you're good. You're okay now.
I'm
So
awesome.
that's wonderful, and thanks for sharing.
Oh, always. I have no problem not sharing. I love to share.
I've learned that. I mean, if that's what you want to do and you love to share, that's where that makes you happy. Why not, right? I've recently just realized this. Someone had asked me this question recently, which made me really, really think that what is my mission, right? I'm like, what do you mean? What's my mission? What's your mission this year? What do you want to accomplish? Does it have to be just this year? Can it just be like, what's really my mission in life? And that took me a while to answer, but I realized that my mission, I've realized what I really want to do and what my mission is. So, and I saw this somewhere also that made sense to me. When you die, I'm going to talk about death a little bit. Okay. You have a tombstone, right? On your tombstone is just the date of what? Of your birth date and the day that you died. So you're remembered on the day that you were born and the day that you died. What happens in between? So the most important thing is the dash, which is in between the day that you were born and the day that you die, right? The dash is the most important thing because everything that happened in between is what matters most. So what that is what do I want to be remembered by or at by people? So what I'm going to do in between the day that I was born and before I die, whatever, what I do now and here on now until the end of my life is what will really matter. And what that will be is I realize I want to really make an impact. I want to be remembered for who I am and what I've done and what I did for people,
Mm.
right? Not so much more on, okay, let's say I was, I don't know, just an example, maybe. Oh, let's say I was a female CEO making this much money. Am I really going to be taking that to the grave? Is that really how I want to be remembered? Am I really going to be taking all this money to the grave?
You know what? In the graveyard, that dash, say on the tombstone or whatever you guys, whoever does what, be it the bury people or cremate people, that dash. I never met someone that's come back from the grave. And if the someone that did come back from the grave, would they have the same memories they died with? Same knowledge, same experience? Maybe not. Or maybe so. Who knows, right?
Mhm.
But you're right about that. The difference between a rich man and a poor man when they die are exactly the equal. Like when Steve Jobs died, he wished he had more time. He had all the money in the world, but he could not buy more time, buy more life. So would you rather live a life that's meaningful or a life fantasized? Would you rather make the impact while you're still alive or wait to a specific time and a date in this universe somewhere when it's right? Or would you want to do it now between that dash? Because there's a beginning, we know when you're born, we know when you die, whenever that is, but in between is a wealth of time, a wealth of growth, a wealth of helping, a wealth of a lot of abundance in between. So, what life do you want to live?
That's a very good question. What life
Ask,
do you want to live, right?
I'm asking you, what life do you
Oh,
want to
me? You're
live?
asking me? I thought you were talking to the listeners. I want to live the life I'm living now.
And what life is that?
The life I'm living now is I'm living with, I think I'm living in my purpose right now. And I know that I'm going to keep this going and I'm not going to stop. So this is the life that I want to live, which, at this point, I would call it like maybe this is like me living my best life ever. I was a little kid once. I've lived my best life when I was a little kid because when I was a little kid, I was happy with everything that I was doing. I wasn't worried about anything. I wasn't worried about what people are going to say. I wasn't worried about, I have to act a certain way because people might not like me for who I am or for the way I was acting. When you were a little kid, you were able to just do all that without any worries because you're your own little 5-year old 4-year old you were, at that age you weren't worried about anything. So at that age you were living your best life. So why can't I just live my best life now, right? So I think that's what I'm doing is, I'm going to live the life that I want to live. And after that, hearing that and having being asked that question made me really realize that what really matters is what happens in between those two dates, and that would be the dash in between, which is the life I'm living right now. And making an impact and making a difference in the people and in the world is what I want to be remembered by, and that is making people happy. So I may be making them happy by sharing my stories to them or by helping them in any other way or in certain way. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. And it could just be as simple as, I may have said something. It could just be like one word that I've told somebody that would leave a mark in them. And it could just be a smile that I did when I smiled at somebody that would leave a mark in them. And I know that I have had, others out there who had told me some things, and I'm really, really, I really appreciate those who's come up to me and share, their feelings towards me. And sometimes you just don't realize you may not be doing anything. You're just minding your own business and you're living your life, that you're actually inspiring somebody already just being the way you are. I didn't realize I'm inspiring somebody just, one time being at a bar and just dancing and minding my own business with my friends, and we're just having fun. I didn't realize just doing that on my own and not caring about everybody else around me, and they might look at me like, why is she dancing like that, or why is she acting like that? I'm just being me. I didn't realize that we're inspiring somebody just being like that.
Well, if you ever notice a point like that, next time that happens, what you want to bring to your attention is, are you in touch with your higher self? Because at that moment, when you were dancing on the dance floor, you were not taking care of the world. You were not worried about anything. You were not holding back. You just being a free spirit.
Hmm.
And look how much joy you were creating out of just being a free spirit.
It's fun.
People come up to you and said, dude, what are you doing? Let me join you. And that's what about reaching a higher self. Things that don't require much of a thought. They just kind of manifest on their own.
Hmm. And I may never see this person again, but I left a mark in this person in some ways. And then that's exactly that I've realized that's what I want to do. That is the kind of difference I want to make in the world.
And that's just being you.
Hmm. So just you being you, your true authentic self. Because again, just being yourself and just being authentic, you really don't know how much people out there are you're inspiring, and that can also help them come out and just start being their authentic self.
Hell yeah.
You're putting a light in their life basically, and that's what we are here for.
Who I am and where do I belong is a question of lifetimes. And that question isn't a question that gives you a specific answer or a specific date or gives you everything you should be knowing the rest of your life. The answer to that question lies within. And the answer to that question is, what are you doing now, today, to be in touch with your higher consciousness or higher self? And what are you doing to the universe to bring a more abundance of happiness? Most of the time, all of us want to do something in order to get something in return. Well, if I do this, I get this return. Well, if I do a good deed, something will happen to me. And I realize those things are still attachments to something. I'm only going to give because I know I will receive. And that comes from a mindset of a lack. If you give just to give without expecting receiving or expecting the universe to grant you something grandiose because you gave, is when you truly find out who you are and where you belong.
Hmm.
That's that's the biggest thing to life. And I now finding who I am and where I belong, and it's within. And this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, helping people, exploring myself, being raw, getting out there, sharing my truth, owning my story. That's what people want to see. I was talking to, I went to the gym this morning. Gym's open here finally in Washington. And I was talking to one of the receptions up front. She follows me on my YouTube channel, and she said, "I really like your content." And I said, "So, what's really missing?" She says, "You know what? I really like stuff that people are real. I'm tired of influencers because it's not real. It's not authentic. It's not what people want to see." And
Mhm.
you can see in this as this world turns with this COVID thing going on, creating abundance around real, meaningful relationships is actually what we've been missing the whole time. We're creating these unauthentic relationships, unauthentic jobs that we don't want to be at, caught up with where we should be because someone else is doing better than what we are doing at the present or what you're doing at the present moment. And that's where you start getting lost. But now, because of COVID, now you got a chance to sit back and realize, wait a minute, what are my real friends or what are real people? Who do I want to connect with? Or who's going to support me when I need help or support me when I'm down or support me when I have depression, anxiety? That's the key there.
Mhm. It's a connection. And really, a lot of it now, it's just, connecting within yourself. And when you do, you connect more with people out there. And this is exactly what people really want to see. And it's true. People want to see more real, like the real you.
Hmm.
And I think, that person's right. It's we're just tired of. I mean, I'm not gonna say we. I'd say probably me. I don't want to speak for everybody. I get tired of seeing fake stuff. I get tired of, people being fake around me or with me. And you can tell. You can tell if they are. But the more authentic you are, the more you attract.
Hmm.
I don't know if you've noticed that, but it you really do. And then you end up surrounding yourself more with real people around you, or those who are real, and they need that. And when you open up like that, you open up to the world, you help somebody else open up, and then they end up being in touch with themselves. And like I said, you put a light in their life. And you know what? This is what you're going to be remembered by. You're going to be remembered by as Ron, who's been raw, who's been authentic, That's what you're going to be remembered by. That's what you're going to be remembered by around the world. And people who's watching your videos, or who's seeing this, your YouTube channels, they may not make any comments and say anything, but you are making a difference already. And they're already remembering who you are. And words get around. It could just be them talking to somebody, hey, you know what? You should watch this guy on this video. He talks about this. And you're helping somebody else somewhere out there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Someone else is going to benefit.
Mhm. But this is what we do, and this is who we are, and this is why we do what we do, because we want to reach out.
Want to reach those that don't know where to turn. Reach those that may not have hope. Reach those that need to be inspired. Reach those that want to live a better life. Reach those that wish they can do whatever they want to but can't. It's
Right.
all
And
about,
then, mhm.
and
And
that's the
then
people we're going to
just
reach.
Yeah, and just letting them know also that you're not alone. There's somebody else out there that who's going through the same situation as you are, or who's gone through it, right? Now you putting yourself out there about this, somebody is just somebody just realized he's not alone.
Isn't that surprising?
See? But you will have more love than more hate. And those who hate, they don't really hate you. I think I'm realizing that, I feel like sometimes when I get hate, or when I get, like, I don't like, it's not that they really don't like what I say or what I put out there, or maybe too open, or, I it's weird for some people. I don't think it's that. I think it's more like maybe they wanna be that. Maybe they want to get there too, they just don't know how.
I think it's a little bit different. Sometimes if someone hates, it's because you triggered something that they want to do, or they trigger something inside them. That's part of the value system.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say, I just couldn't really explain it well, maybe that's what it is, but but you got me, you understand what I'm trying to say there, but I think that's what it was, and like I said, at the same time, it's like they want to make those changes also, but maybe just in denial about it.
Hmm. They sure do.
Yeah, so yeah.
Well, not
Well.
everybody can have the same awakening we had, and not everybody can have it at the same time. So we have an ours here, and someone else will have theirs tomorrow, and it's always happening around us.
Mhm.
It's because we started to get to the point where we want this awakening. We want these different things to manifest in our life. And we start searching for, we start becoming part of that. We start opening up more to the universe. And that's where the magic is. When we start opening up more and realizing how we can change our lives within, things start to come our way unbeknownst to us. Energetically, things are just showing up where they should
And
be.
yeah, and it has to come from you first too. You'd have to want it. You'd have to want to make those changes, and you'd have to want to, um, learn more about yourself and and connect more within yourself.
Oh, yes, that's most definitely.
And you'd have to want to do the work because it does take some work.
It takes a lot of work.
Mhm.
And it continues to be work and it won't stop and it will keep coming until you die.
Yeah.
If you want it, it will keep coming and you got to experience every moment with joy because every experience has value, regardless how you look at it.
It's a continual progress is how I see it.
And only up and never down. So continue progress to becoming better and getting better. And with that said, I want to say this has been lovely. This has been amazing awakening in the last 2 weeks from hiring a spiritual coach to have this experience with my testicles.
It just sounds so funny.
I don't, if it was up
Hey,
to
you
me,
know
I'd
what?
say
At this
balls.
point, all you can do is just laugh about it, right? That's the best way to
I,
do it.
I just, I don't know if I really care. It's just, it is what it is. And you know what? It is what it is. And that's nothing else I can say about it. At least testicles is scientific. So you can look it up. You can. So I want to say thanks, guys. It's been a wonderful time sharing my story. Hope I help a lot of people out there and help them be just raw and be in that moment like I'm doing right now on this podcast and in my stories. And thank you for allowing me to share with you. And again, thank you for listening to another episode of Life's a Shuffle. This is Ronald Johnson, your mindfulness coach.
Yes, and again, thanks, Ron, for sharing your story to us and being as raw. I feel like saying raw, like raw. Anyways, being as raw as you can be, it takes a lot of courage. It really does. And for you to be brave to even have this posted and have it on your YouTube, it does take a lot of courage. So, congratulations in that. And again, thank you for sharing your story. And thank you for listening to another episode of Life's a Shuffle. This is Gloria, your mindfulness coach.
And don't forget, those that want to be a guest or make a comment, we love to share it here. You can email us at lifesashuffle@gmail.com, or more importantly, follow our Facebook page at Life's a Shuffle on Facebook. Subscribe. You get the daily content and things you need to hear on a regular basis. Thanks again for listening.